So let me set the scene for you. I teach a module in computer science where students are supposed to collaborate on a group programming project. Nothing too out of the ordinary, right? The goal is simple, to prepare them for real-world IT work. After all, if you're pursuing a computer science degree, you'd think teamwork would be part of the package, right? But then there's this one student, a real piece of work, let me tell you. He's the kind of guy who feels entitled to everything but doesn't want to put in the effort. I've noticed he relies heavily on generative AI for most of his assignments, and it really shows. When I give him feedback, he often pushes back, insisting that his work is solid. But when I sit him down to explain his own code, he's lost, completely clueless. Now, during this project, he marches up to me and declares that he can't work with the rest of his group. He demands to work alone. I try to explain that this isn't how it works. There are specific group activities I need to mark, and I can't just let him off the hook. But he stands firm, and honestly, I can see he's not going to budge. So in a moment of reluctant compliance, I agree to let him fly solo. As the weeks roll by, I check in with all the groups. Everyone's collaborating, brainstorming ideas, and sharing tasks, everyone except him. He's holed up in his little bubble, working on his own project, completely detached from his peers. And each time I give him feedback, I make it crystal clear. If you don't engage with your group, you're risking a failing mark. I even send this feedback in writing and via email, ensuring he knows exactly what's at stake. Fast forward to the end of the module. The deadline for submission arrives, and guess what? He turns in a project that is entirely based on his own work. And let me tell you, it's a disaster. First off, it doesn't even meet the project brief. The code doesn't do what we asked for. Right then and there, I know he's in trouble. But it gets worse. Because he didn't collaborate with his group, he loses all those precious group marks. And since his code is so far from the specifications, I decide it's time for a viva voce, basically a fancy term for a one-on-one oral exam where he has to explain his code. And when he walks in, it's clear he's got no idea what he's talking about. His understanding of his own submission is shockingly poor. More marks drop. By the end of it, his final mark is a hard fail. I can hardly believe it. He has to resit the entire module now. But here's the kicker. It's not just him who's affected. I'm stuck with him again for the resit. Can you imagine? I have to go through this whole process all over again. So what's the moral of the story? Sometimes, when you think you're being clever by going it alone, you might just end up facing the consequences of your choices. Have you ever encountered someone like this? Someone who thought they could do it all themselves, but ended up falling flat? Share your stories in the comments below. I'd love to hear them.